I'm just making sure everything's updated and everything's good. We don't want any faults or issues, but we will start the game shortly. Making sure everything's fine. Settings are good. Make sure, let's have a look at the settings. So going through the settings, we're obviously English, worker population, great, global labor pool, much better. Cheat codes, I don't use them anyway. Predators not fussed. Unique water rate, yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's all good. Graphics, we are all good. Audio. Key binding good. Notifications good. Okay, let's go back to the main menu. Oh, right. So we're going to start from the beginning. So that's my son's playthrough. So we're going to create a family. We're going to Lopen's cousin. And we are, as that probably fits me the best, we're going to proceed on that. So we're going to play through the campaign. We're going to relive the full 4,000 years of Egyptian history. Okay. Right. Right, so everything's set up absolutely fine. We're going to start the campaign and we're going to go through missions. We're not going to individually change them, but we're going to start from the beginning. This is a full tutorial playthrough. So we're going to go through the basics of each mission, and they take as long as they take, and hopefully we'll have some fun, learn some more about Egypt, and we will, yeah, let's get through it and enjoy it. So we need to build 6 meager shanties. Meager shanties, they're not basic, but they'll get them there. Right, the first things this village will need are housing. To provide settlers with a suitable place to live and a network of roads to allow the eventual inhabitants to find their way around easily and effectively, build areas of housing. And you'll soon see people move into the village. Right click. Okay. Humble beginnings. Use the right panel for that. Okay. So, housing. Nice and cheap. There's 7. Can't for the life of me remember what the currency is. Dirhams, I believe. Okay. It's like we need roads. So luckily it is telling me what to do. So, the Kingdom Road. The path which immigrants reach your city is known as, the path by which immigrants reach your city is known as the Kingdom Road. Migrants always need a free passage to the Kingdom Road to the city's housing areas. If you isolate a neighbourhood from its vital link to the outside world, its homes will simply disappear. Okay, so we're just going to wait until all of these come through. You can delete the roads to stop them from moving, but we can also use roadblocks as well. So for me, the Premier League weekend will start tonight with the champions Liverpool. I am a Liverpool fan. Don't hate me too much. I grew up as one, and I love watching them play. But most of my life nowadays, as my kids aren't the greatest football fans, I don't really generally watch it. I watch as much as I can. But yeah, let's go back to Egypt. So, 100 people have moved into your village. Great. So we're not too far away from 200. It won't take long at all. Okay, so access to water. To evolve their houses, the inhabitants will need a basic access to water. Some well-placed wells will provide them with everything they need. Wells must be built on land with underlying groundwater, as indicated by the presence of green grass growing, and provide water within a 2-tile radius of themselves. So these are the basic wells. So we're going to build 4, that's one lot, just to get a nice grid of it going. I love Caesar Free too. I could go to that. I've got it on Good Old Games. Is it Good Old Games? Yeah, GOG. I've got it on there, so it is plenty of interest. I might go to Caesar Free. It'll be the vanilla game. I believe there's quite a lot of mods. Is it Augustus? So yeah, hopefully they'll do something like this with it. I think that'd be really cool. I'd kind of love it actually, because Season 3 was one of the first games I ever played. Right, hunting. As a growing population needs a reliable food source and some means of storing and distributing, the ostriches in the region can be hunted for game. You'll need hunting lodges for that. Granaries then store game meats and other foods, while bazaars distribute the food for its inhabitants. Okay. So, straight up, we will get 2 of these. As you can see, when I was putting it down, it has points where they leave and enter, which is something new. I think it's a really great addition to the game. Workforce access. As with most working structures, these buildings must be located in the reach of housing, and the cities must have enough workers. Watch as the builders spawn and walk to look for workers, and how they turn animated once the walkers pass by occupied houses. You can click on Placed Hunting Lodge to get more information. Granaries. Hunters will now set out in search of prey. If successful, they'll bring the carcasses back to the lodge to be butchered. After which, oh dear, let's go back to that. The delivery to the nearest granaries for storage, which we're going to build now. Granaries are somewhat undesirable to leave nearby, but you need access to workforce, so it's important to place them carefully. Okay. So we are going to build a granary. I'm going to pop him here. Gives him whilst it gives him plenty of area to move around, we need to keep it a distance away from the housing because we don't want them to not like it. Okay, so bazaars and distribution. Whilst your hunters now deliver game meat to the granary, you still have no way to distribute it to your inhabitants. That's the job of the bazaar. The bazaar will send one of its workers to the granary to bring back food and will send its distributor roaming the roads to deliver it to your citizens. So, next one. So, I know this is the market, but yeah, bazaar. Great. Walker spawn and return points. As you can see, look, the basic, nice and simple. The green arrow shows, when trying to place a building near a road, you'll see indicators with arrows. The green arrow shows where the building will spawn and its walkers, and where it will take delivery of goods. The red arrow shows the point of return of distributors coming out of the building. Sometimes both points are on the same tile. The points might change when you build new roads next to existing buildings. You can check them at any time simply by hovering over your cursor on the structure you want to inspect. I think it wants me to build the... Let me just remove that. Distributors of goods or services will roam the roads of your city for a period of time, then return to the building. During the walk, if they reach a crossroad, they can take either direction. To avoid distributors getting lost and not going to or going where you don't want them to, don't build a road network with too many intersections. This is also true for recruiters, so place your buildings accordingly. So we need to make sure we've got roadblocks, because that will stop them. Roadblocks, great. Fire risk. To make sure NUP sustains the test of time, you'll need to make sure that structures in the village don't catch fire or collapse on themselves. Not all buildings are prone to risks. The best way to tell if one needs to be visited by either an architect from an architect's post or a fire marshal from a firehouse is to click on it and open its panel info. Houses, for example, will catch fire if not attended, but will never collapse on themselves. So we'll get a firehouse. I'm going to pop that here. And then we're going to get a architect's post, because other things will be. Access to clean water. Now that they have food, villagers need access to clean water from a water supply, which is much preferred over the water from wells. Water supplies must be built on grassy areas and also need access to employees in nearby housing. Once up and running, a water supply will dispatch a water carrier to deliver buckets of clean drinking water to all the houses in its immediate vicinity. Right. These are much better. So we're going to pop that there. So we're literally it's gonna complete it. Right. So what we need is food. As soon as we can get some food, these will start to grow. Desirability wise, I think we're good. Right. Well, we've got food, but we need the area to get better. So what we're going to do is get rid of these. Great. Well done. By filling your people's bellies with nourishing food and protecting their homes from fire and collapse, you have helped this fledgling civilization take its first steps onto the road of history. Ooh. Okay. Right, so we are on to our next mission straight away. So, Thinis. So we need to, the win conditions for this is one ordinary cottage. it'll slowly get harder and harder, and then it'll take us into the full missions. So we're going to do as many as we can today, and then we're going to, next Friday, going to jump on it again. Maybe we'll add this on another day. It's because Saturday is a let's play whichever game's fun. So obviously Stellaris is for Sundays, and we're going to start playing Timberborn next Tuesdays. So if everyone's happy, we can carry on with this. But no, I'm willing to give it a go. New beginnings. Start to lay down the housing and provide your people with fresh water and food the same way you did in Nut. Try to stay relatively close to those ore-bearing rocks in the northwest of the map. Okay, you're going to need them. You can clear trees with the remove button, but these won't grow back. In future missions, you'll have to make sure you won't need them before getting rid of them. Right, so let's just have a look round. Let's pause it. So we've got gold here. We've got stone. So I think we're gonna build it here. Okay, a method I like to do is this. One, two, three, 1, 2. Okay. Get rid of them. We're going to build them. And we're going to build them. So we got 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so we'll pop that there. Let us get straight up water supply. There we go. Water supply straight away. Let's get a bazaar. Let's just have that in place. And let's make sure we've got that and that. Oh, no, no. Right. Are they coming from down below? Yeah, there they are. Let's speed it up. Right, 100 people already? Yep. So speeding, it's self-explanatory. Sometimes when we're waiting, we can pause it. We can speed it up at any time. Right. We're trying to get 10 meager chances. That shouldn't take long at all. See, I like going through these old missions because it gives me plenty of practice when we're finally doing the big monuments later down the line. Right, managing your treasury. Each structure you place costs Devons. Devons. Not counting what you'll spend on workers' salaries. One way to make that back that money is to mine gold. Place at least 2 gold mines near the veins of ore so you can start production of the precious metal. Make sure they have access to the workforce and don't forget to protect them from collapse risk. So, if we... There we go, straight away. Gold mine. Okay, we're not dealing with the Nile yet, luckily. Here we are. We need a palace as well, it appears. Crime. With a supply of cash in reserve, however, comes a risk of theft. Constables from the police station can help reduce losses through theft by both patrolling the streets to prevent crime and by subduing any criminals they encounter. The best way to prevent crime, though, is to keep your population happy with adequate food, healthcare, and jobs. So, we build some feds. Overlays. You can check your houses by clicking on them to see if there is a risk of crime. But sometimes you'll need to be able to see them in one glance if there's any problems in the entire city. This is where overlays on the left bar will help you. Try the crime overlay. First, you will then be able to explore a few of them. Okay. Overlays. Water. Plenty of water. No entertainment. Education. Health. No religion right now. Taxation. We're good. Okay. Fire. Oh, crime. We're good. Collapse. We're good. And everything. Fire. We're good. Health and diseases. Crime isn't the only challenge you will face. Health can cause problems and decimate your citizens. Physicians patrolling a neighbourhood will protect its inhabitants from diseases. Providing your population with food and fresh water will also reduce the risk of disease. Other structures will help your citizens' health going forward. The apothecary will protect your house against malaria in cities, with marshes nearby, for example. Okay, so we get a physician. Because they'll just walk around and it'll all be happy. Right. An Egyptian religion. An Egyptian cannot truly flourish without a suitable place of worship in the form of religious temples and shrines dedicated to one of the 5 gods. The patron god of Thinis is Bast. To appease the gods, build enough temples and shrines dedicated to each of them to serve your current population. A working temple sends a priest through nearby neighborhoods, granting residents access to the worship of his god. In addition to the religious effects, shrines and temples also provide good amounts of desirability for the houses nearby. Shrines can be built 1 tile from the roads and still function properly. Okay, so shrines, we can put 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. A temple, we will pop the temple right at the end here on the opposite side. Flat mode. Temples are tall buildings and tend to hide what's directly behind them. Over the course of the game, you'll get access to more structures that have that effect, from the courthouse to, of course, huge pyramids. This is where we meet one of your most important tools, the flat mode. Flat mode can be activated with the button located to your minimap next to your minimap, sorry, or by simply pressing the F key. But by default, it will flatten all built structures whilst allowing you to keep building new ones. Okay, so let's have a look at that. There we go. There we go. So you want us to build more shrines? Festivals. Both patron gods and local deities can become hostile if not shown the respect due to their positions. First, you'll need to make sure you have enough temples and shrines for your current population. Patron gods will require twice that amount. Festivals are another way to appease the gods. Build a festival square in your city to unlock the possibility of holding a festival. Okay, so I think with a festival we need to... Let's have a look. There we go, that should work. Overseers. Consult the overseers of the temple to determine the status of each of the gods in any particular city, and whether the gods are sufficiently appeased. Lightning bolts indicate the god is feeling hostile towards your city, while a blue mystic symbol indicates that the god is feeling benevolent towards your city. Pardon me? The more you see of either, the more likely your city is to feel the god's presence, for better or for worse. There are different overseers available on the left panel to help you govern your city. Check them from time to time. They should be able to answer most of your questions. There we go. So, overseer of temples, apathetic. Okay. So what we generally do then is, if it's apathetic, we'll build another temple. Here we are. So because we need to fill up this, let's build some more mines. A mine. Here we are. Build this. An architect's post, and we should be all good. Fantastic. Okay, I don't think we have you or you. Okay. A rough cottage. Hmm. We've got plenty of gold. another police station. Actually, probably not a good idea putting them next to each other. Here we are. Brilliant. Can speed up time. Fantastic. Well, we've got plenty of money. Plenty of unemployment. Build another temple, why not? Yeah, I can't build plazas or gardens. I know there's unemployment. Here we are. Clear all of that. Just a lot of waiting now. Let's have explore the map. It'd be a decent full map, this. Here we are. Great. Lavish festival. Entertainment. As your city becomes more advanced, some citizens can enjoy leisure time activities, such as taking in a little entertainment. A wide assortment of entertainment is one hallmark of a truly cultured city, but currently you can only provide entertainment in the form of jugglers. The jugglers needs a venue in which to perform, the smallest of which is called a booth. Building a booth on the corner of a road to stage juggling performance and the juggle school nearby to train performers both need access to employee housing and enough workers to staff them. Jugglers trained at the jugglers school will proceed to any nearby booths to put on shows, imparting a modest amount of entertainment to the area as they pass by. So I'm going to pop one there. Fantastic. Put one there and pop one there. So entertainment. 3, 4. We don't need as many. Okay. And as well, let's get a juggler school. Fantastic. There we go, straight away. Excellent.
You have built the first true city in this unforgiving land.
You have built the first true city in this unforgiving land, providing for your citizens' corporal and spiritual needs, and help the Thinite Confederacy unify the divided land. Fantastic. Right. Your family begins in the pre-Distic dynasty, leading a small band of nomads through the discovery of the arts of civilization. Your leadership helps set Egypt on a course for eventual greatness, still glimpsed only dimly. Right, I'm going to absolutely butcher this name right now. Perwajit. That's what I want to say it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. So 10 modest homesteads, 600 population. It's not that difficult, but it's not meant to be. We're learning as we go. Hopefully this is the industry one. Ooh, the Finite nobles still struggle to unite the land under one supreme ruler. To aid them in their cause, it is hoped that you will endeavour to establish a thriving community at Perwajit in the humid delta region of Lower Egypt, thus spreading their influence throughout the length of the sacred river. To support a population larger than that of a village, you must learn to use agriculture. Egyptian farmers have begun to exploit the rich, fertile soil disposed by the annual inundation of the Nile River for growing crops. The Nile can be hazardous, however. Many dangers lurk along its banks and its waters, such as deadly crocodiles, hippopotamuses, and malaria-carrying mosquitoes. The mission is lost if your debt rises to minus 5,000 devons. Keep a close eye on your treasury. So we need a population of 600 and 10 modest homesteads. Floodplains and farming. To feed the people in Perwajit, you must build farms directly onto the floodplain in order to gain the benefit of its increased fertility. Unlike most working structures, farms on the floodplain do not need direct access to employers, but need a steady workforce of peasant labourers supplied by a work camp. To tend the fields, build work camps fairly close to the floodplain, so peasants won't have to walk too far to reach them. Each year, the Nile floods its banks, replenishing depleted soil on the floodplain with rich, fertile mud. Peasants harvest their annual crops just before the inundation and deliver it to your granaries. Because there is only one harvest per year, make sure your city has enough granaries to store a sufficient amount of food for your growing population. Right. So, the bulk of it's going to be here. So I think we build if we build industry here and you guys over here. We can also do some there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Iris. Oh. fixes that problem. Right, first thing we're going to do is that and that. That should solve that problem. We are also going to build that as well. Physician there. Going to build shrine there. There, there, and there. I'll put one there as well. Determine, we're also going to get them in the corners. One there, one there, one there. And we're going to get a juggling school straight away. Then we're going to, where is it? Storage yard, granary, work camp. Something we do need though is if we're going to have a work camp, no fire risk, cannot collapse. But we can only get a firehouse. Right. So I'm going to pop that there. Because we're going to start getting nice. There we are. Gonna go and ensure we've got some granaries. We do that there. No, we can't do that there. Let's just leave it. There we go. That should give us a full amount. Love the music background. Always adds a bit of flair and a bit of niceness. So, where did everyone learn about Egypt? Like, I did loads of it in primary school. Absolutely loads. It was great. One of my favourite subjects was something my granddad always went through as well. Always really enjoyed listening to him talk about it. He had loads of like stuff. I think they'd been to Egypt before. So yeah, it was always great. Right, employees needed. So we need food. Okay, and now we can distribute the food. Valeria. Malaria is the most prevalent close to water and marshland. The malaria overlay shows which houses are more likely to succumb to the illness. Access to clean water from a water supply and insect repellent provided by the apothecary only functions when it has access to road and labour. Right, so we need an apothecary and we need water supply. So let's have a look at the overlay. Where are you? Nope, that's not it. Herbalist. Unless a herbalist comes soon. Okay. So that's on its way. Great. Keep upgrading housing. Okay. So look, this is what's going to happen with that. We need to let's start getting. Can we plant while we're on here? No. Can you guys get food? Here we are. Industry. Now that you're giving your people basic food and water, you can enhance their lifestyle with other goods such as pottery. Build a clay pit close to water and a potter nearby. Make sure you have access to the labour as usual. Obviously, because we're using the global labour pool, because it's a new feature, I wanted to use it and evidence how good it is. It is brilliant. It's such a great idea. So you will create a potter for your city. Build a storage yard to store the final products, as well as any excess clay the potter does not need. 3 clay pits can usually provide enough clay for 4 potters. Workers from the bazaar will collect the pottery from the storage yard and distribute it just as they do food. Industries like pottery also provide for your city's inhabitants much needed jobs. Okay, so here we are. Production, clay pits. 2, 3. Okay. And we are also going to... It mentioned 4. So 3 clay pits to 4 potters. So we're going to build 4 potters. Oh, we're going to get a perfect inundation this year. That's fantastic. Okay, pottery. So accept none. Cancel. We'll accept. I do like to build 1 for each. So we will accept all for that. Accept none. Accept all for that. And we will also build another one. There we go. Another one so that we've got enough for clay. 500 residents, nice. Right, so what we're going to do now is let's man, that's annoying. Hmm. Sure, we've got everything that we need. Gonna be great. We're all gonna have a good time. So this is gonna be the last mission for today. Here we are. Beautification. Oh, I love beautification. Great job. You've got some industry up and running. Now you can think about making a few improvements to your city. Beautification can be used to make neighborhoods more desirable by making the area surrounding more attractive. Gardens, statues, and plazas can help to house and help your houses to evolve. Several garden plots can be placed next to each other to form larger parks, but their appearance will be random. Place plazas on paved roads to enhance their appearance and improve the desirability of nearby land. You can rotate statues like most buildings using the R key, but if you'd rather choose which garden you want to place next to statues, you can switch between the two systems in the options. So we're just gonna, I think, just leave random on there. But here's beautification. Look at all these beautiful statues. So we're gonna get some gardens and put them here. Maybe we're gonna get a couple of small statues. There we are. Let's get some. Look at that. Entertainment coverage. The entertainment required to evolve houses get higher and higher. In addition to the score provided by a visit of juggler and later on other entertainers, houses also get bonus points depending on your general coverage. You can check entertainment coverage in your overseer of diversions. A booth providing the perfect coverage for 600. A booth will provide a coverage for 600 people. You might find yourself in situations where a juggler from a single booth passes by houses accommodating way more people than that. Placing other booths will help improve the coverage and provide more bonus points to all the houses in the city. Sometimes it's just what they need to evolve. Coverage from entertainment, education, religion, and health all count towards your culture score. In later missions, when a high culture score is required to win, it is important to check the respective overseers to see what your city is lacking. Okay. Overseers. Diversions. Perfect. There we go. I always like put one on each corner. Always fun, always wins for me. Okay, Cyrus is happy, reasonably happy. Let's go. Okay. Hard entertainment. Oh. Oh, perfect. Okay, got a good amount. Pottery, clay, nice. I don't need any money. Superb. Your own citizens are beginning to look to you as their caretaker, and neighbouring cities also hail you as a provider in times of need. Okay. We are going to leave it there. Necken will be our next mission. We need 1,010 modest apartments. That's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's going to be great. And yeah, we're going to definitely do it from there. But we're going to go home now. Thank you for joining me today. It's obviously something a little bit different than Jurassic World Evolution and Stellaris. I wanted to add a couple more games in the mix because I don't want to get burnt out. I really enjoy playing the games that I play. And spreading them about, it's good for me, good for my mental health, and it's good for everyone that listens, I hope. So yeah, have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and enjoy your weekend. I will see you tomorrow.